Welcome to Zeabound. I am locked to the continent of Zea, chasing two mighty goals: soloing the Chambers of Xeric, RuneScape's first raid, and completing the Colosseum, RuneScape's newest and hardest solo content. Restricted to just one area of the game, I'll have to figure out what gear is attainable and how I'll go about getting it, while also figuring out ways I can train all of my skills, as Zea doesn't give me all the opportunities the rest of the world map does. This is my hardest challenge yet and will test my entire RuneScape knowledge and skill set. So let's see where we got up to, shall we? Welcome back. Last time round we spent some time training our combat skills on various monsters around Zea. We collected a number of melee gear upgrades with a view to bag ourselves an oversized demon head. We realised that we needed all the skill requirements to even start a Kingdom Divided and get that oversized demon head, and then we proceeded to finish 6 out of the 7 skills required, leaving one nasty one to go: Herblore. So how are we going to do Herblore? Well, we're going to do Herblore by enacting our new master plan, the Herblore master plan. This requires us to smash a 3-step plan, beginning with killing men and women for herb drops. We can get ourselves a good portion of the full list of herbs just from the men and women drop table. The second stage of the plan is to collect all of the secondaries we are going to need to make our potions, but unfortunately we can't get all of the secondaries on Zea, so some potions are off the table. And finally, we need to start training our farming so we can start to grow our own herbs and secondaries to hopefully speed the process up. It's that simple, right? Right, I should start off by elaborating on what herbs we can get, what secondaries we can find, and subsequently what potions we can actually make up until 50 Herblore. So for the herbs, we can get all but 3 on Zea as drops. The 3 that we can't get are Toadflax, Snapdragon, and Torstal, which you will have to revert to getting their seed forms to be able to actually get them. Luckily, this only crosses off 1 potion off our list of potential training methods anyway, as I don't need to actually use Snapdragons or Torstals pre-level 50. For the secondaries up to level 50 Herblore, we have access to Eyes of Newt, Limpwort Roots, Ashes, Red Spider Eggs, and Snake Grass. The other secondaries either require a Pestle and Mortar, which I can't get until Varlamore, or they don't drop anywhere on Zea. So this crosses off a further 6 potions for us, meaning we are currently down 7 potions total that we can't make. And finally, the last thing is we can't make Serum 207 without the Shades of Morton quest, so we are actually down 8 potions. So what are these final potions then? Well, at level 3 Herblore, we can make attack potions with Guam and Eye of Newt. Guam is a drop from Men and Women, and Eye of Newt can be purchased in Arceus. At level 12, we can make strength potions with Taramin and Limpwort Roots. Taramin comes from Men and Women, and Limpwort Roots are either a drop from Hill Giants or they're farmed at 26 farming. At 22, we can make restore potions using Haralander and Red Spider Eggs. Haralander from Men and Women and Red Spider Eggs can be picked up off the floor in the 4th DOS dungeon. At 38, we can finally make prayer potions using Ranars and Snake Grass. Ranars come from Men and Women, and Snake Grass can be picked up off the floor in Hesidius. And finally, at 45 Herblore, we can make super attack potions using Irrits and Eyes of Newt. Again, Men and Women will supply the Irrits, and the Eyes can be bought in Arceus. That is the game plan, and we will hopefully try and farm at the same time. We can now steal from master farmers to get ourselves a consistent supply of seeds, so hopefully that just increases the speed and efficiency. Okay, we are selling a bunch of stuff and dropping all of our marks of grace to make room for the Herblore supplies. We're going to need as much space as possible. To be honest, I should really be selling more stuff anyway, but I'm kind of convincing myself that I need all of this garbage, so maybe we'll look at it in the future. Hey, look at that. Our first Herblore milestone achieved on Zea. We can now clean Marantils, and even though we can't use them in any potions, we can get some token Herblore XP from cleaning them, which is pretty good. We are going to continue using Guams until 12 Herblore, so let's get cracking. I've moved from killing men and women in Current Castle to this area, just by the Kingstown minecart station, as there are 4 men and women all huddled close together, and I can get easy access around the map from here if needed. What a good find. This should save me some walking around time. Look at us flying. This is 11 herb lore, and we can now clean Taramins to use in strength potions. One more level and we can start making those strength potions, which should boost our XP per hour by quite a bit. Ah yes, 12 herb lore means strength potions, and with that means more XP. My plan for these is to kill hill giants. For limpworts in the catacombs, they drop at a rate of 1 in 11.64, so it should be pretty easy to get them. It also helps me train my melee stats because I need to be a big, strong boy for a Kingdom Divided. Okay, we need to start unnoting these herbs, and the way to do this on an Alton Iron Man account is to use them on a bank. This will unload as many of them as I have into the available spaces in my inventory. So you've got to be careful or you'll just have an invent full of herbs and you'll then need to go and get them noted all over again. Okay, I have decided that seeing as farming is an idle skill, I should really be training that at the same time. And it means we can then start planting herbs and secondaries to help speed this herb lore grind up a bit. So let's see how this goes. But first, we need to get ourselves seeds, so we're going to be pickpocketing master farmers for some low level stuff, and then you can enjoy a small amount of raking content so we can plant our first bits. We have just hit 2 farming. This is so clean. Oh, what the hell? We just got a spory seed, which is also a collection log slot. We can't use this because it's locked behind farming, so it has to be dropped for now. Oh god, yes. All my shit is alive. This looks so good. I know that this won't last forever, and things will probably die continuously after this, but I want to sit in this for a bit, enjoy myself. Welp. Here is the dead allotments. I think I should be utilising the compost bin and giving these things a better chance at survival. Plus, I can also use the onions and potatoes as compost, so it's a nice non-waste cycle that we're going to get ourselves into. Oh, by the way, I got myself a clue scroll that I can do here on Zaya. So now I have an hour timer to keep an eye on, so I can pick it up and re-drop it so it doesn't disappear. But my track record is so bloody poor. Don't be surprised if this doesn't last very long. Wow, 22 herb lore coming in clutch. We can now make ourselves restore potions. This is a nice bump to the XP per hour, and I can go and get myself the red spider eggs required as secondaries from the 4th dungeon, as they are just scattered across the floor down there. A healthy garden is a happy garden. Look at this gorgeous sight. Holy moly. 19 farming means we can plant Taramins now, which is great as that is just a bonus herb I can get without having to kill a bunch of men and women. Looky here, we have a Bob random. And I want to give you all a little tip for this event. If you right click on the fishing spot while it's in the animation showing you where you need to go, when you come out of it, you can just click fish at the fishing spot and you will just run over to the right side. So you don't need to go looking for the statue and getting confused, etc, etc. Okay, event done, and that is a tall 7 fishing. We are unstoppable right now. Okay, it is now time to make the restore potions, and like I said, we can go over to the 4th dungeon to pick them up, but I will need to use protect from melee and run around all the spiders. I have just realised that this is a gravestone. Have I been killing people at a funeral all this time? Oh god, what have I become? I'm a monster. 26 farming completed. We can now plant both limpworts and harrowlanders, which is so clean to say out loud. This is going to reduce the amount of time I need to spend killing men and women, and hill giants actually, which is always nice. During this brief intermission, I want to show you this idiotic herb lore run that we're going to have to do. Go to the shop, get me vials, go to the bank, put the herbs in the vials, and then I run all the way to Arceus. And I tell you what, it's not a short run. It is quite a long one. And I go to the shop, I get myself some Eyes of Newt, and make the potions. Then I have to run all the way across Arceus to the other bank, and then at this bank I have to get my herbs out again and put those in my newly acquired vials of water, and then I run all the way back to the shop, and this is done multiple times until I don't have any more herbs left. Now once the guams are finished, I have to fill these with harrowlanders, and again doing this at the bank because, you know, why not? This can't be done in an easier way, obviously. And then we take the beautiful Harrowlander potions that we have unfinished, and we run ourselves all the way over to the 4th OS dungeon, obviously checking our clue scrolls as we go. And then once we get to said 4th OS dungeon, we go down, we wait for our run energy to restore, because, you know, agility is a thing that we can do easily on this account, right? And then once we have that, we pop our Protect from Melee on, and we charge around, picking up all of these beautiful red spider eggs. Then, once this is done, we go all the way back to the now Hasidius bank to fill this up with more potions, and then we run ourselves all the way back to the 4th OS dungeon to finish these off, and then we keep doing that until we've run out of Haralander potions, and then we make ourselves some Taramin potions. Now Taramin potions are a little bit more tricky, because with Taramin potions I have to get myself over to the Catacombs of Korend. Again, a long run, you know how it be. You got to do a lot of running in these restricted accounts. And then when we get ourselves to the Catacombs of Korend, we walk ourselves into the Hill Giant pit and we kill Hill Giants until we get Limpwort roots. Then when we get ourselves a Limpwort root, we make a strength potion. Now, I know that might seem like a piece of cake to some of you, but let me tell you this, grind is a mammoth one. And the fact I've put myself in this situation on 2 accounts at the same time is a bit silly, if you ask me. Not to mention adding in prayer pots and super attack potions soon as well. This is going to get more ridiculous before it ends, let me tell you. Right, I've got some mixed news for everybody. If you haven't noticed, my inventory is looking rather empty. Surprisingly empty, you might say. And that is because a bot stole half of my shit off of the floor while I was in the 4th OS dungeon collecting red spider eggs. I dropped a few of it on the floor so I could make room to put more red spider eggs in my inventory so I could do the potions quicker. And I was running around, and then all of a sudden, and it must have been like tick perfect that when this bot came down the ladder, all of my stuff appeared on the floor because they just started picking it up. So they must have got a stack of air runes, a stack of mine runes, a stack of guams, and some other like little bits. Like what the why? I mean, it may well have been a main, and then just like, why? What are you doing? Why are you stealing like 3 kgps worth of stuff off the floor? But you know, on the bright side, I now have sold more stuff, and we've made a lot more invent space for us to tackle this herblore grind. So, you know, silver linings and all. Wow, we've just hit 60 strength. And that means that one day, when we get ourselves the Dragon Warhammer, we can actually wield it. So, why in God's name I haven't started getting super compost is beyond me. All I need is pineapples, and they can be bought from the charters in Land's End. So, I'm going to go and start doing that now, as it not only reduces the chance of my crops getting diseases, but it also gives a higher yield when I'm harvesting them. God, I'm so smart and dumb at the same time. Yes, 38 herblore is a big level. I can now make prayer pots, and I have a few pre-made pots here, so I can show you where we're going to get snake grass from. If you come to this island here in Hasidius, there is 10 snake grasses just lying on the ground. This means we have an unlimited supply, and all we need to do is wander over here, pick them up. This is so perfect, I may cry. Holy shit, we have 3 steps. Okay, don't panic, think clearly. What do we do? Easy clues can be 2 to 4 steps, and with my luck, it will be 4 steps, so I should stay until I get a 4th. Okay, let's go and do it. I can't wait that long, not a chance. Okay, first step is not a back-to-back, but that's okay. We've got 2 more steps to go. All right, second step is also not a back-to-back, but we've got 1 more chance. Shite. I can't believe this game hates me this much. Why, Jagex? Why? Well, let's get that stack of clues back, shall we? Well, hello. We've just hit 60 defense while trying to train Herblord to 50. This is absolutely mad. We can now equip dragon items, which is a big goal for the melee setup. I think I should probably train my strength next though, as we now have base 60 combat stats, which is amazing. We are in the home stretch now, 45 herblore. Super attack potions can now be made. This grind has been so difficult to do on Zaya with the minimal training methods I have, but we've persevered, and look at us now. We're almost there. Yes, we did it. 50 levels of herblore done, locked to Zaya, and we can now start a kingdom divided for real. I can't believe I underestimated that grind so much. That was actually so tough. It took me almost a month to train it, and you know, I was doing other things and getting on with life, etc, but a whole month is mad to get to 50. Let's go get this bloody quest started, shall we? Okay, let's do a quick recap before we go to Karen Castle. We needed to complete 7 quests to get to this point. We have trained 7 different skills in various different ways all over Karen to be able to start this quest. We have by proxy trained 6 other skills along the way as well, and now we can finally start the last quest in the Karen quest line. As a reminder, this quest grants us access to the Book of the Dead, which is an updated version of the Karest's memoirs. We get 2 10k XP lamps trained in any skill over 40. We get 24 new spells in the Arceus spellbook, and most importantly, the ability to set our respawn point to Karen Castle once we complete it, which is the ultimate first step. Unfortunately, there are still 6 bosses and sub-bosses standing in our way, and we cannot fail at the final hurdle. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? We are once again talking to Martin Holt in Karen Castle, but this time we can start the quest and figure out why the King's daughter has not taken over the throne of Karen and why the council have taken control themselves. Alright, Commander Falor is looking pretty suspicious right now. Why does she love the council so much? Okay, we need to find Sophia Hughes, who is one of the councillors. Right, she has gone to Lovercane, so we should probably get over there and continue the search. Okay, they're sending me back to PP, and it looks like I'll be meeting up with Veos again. Oh, this is what we built up to in the last episode before Martin Holt struck me down with a "you need all the skill requirements" bullshit. It's time to fight our first big test, the Judge of Yama. Okay, there we go. That was a lot easier than it would have been if I'd have done it in the last episode. That melee gear and combat level grind that we did just went off. It feels great to make serious progress, but we're not finished yet. We need to carry on with the quest. Okay, we have now been told the King's daughter's name. It is Rose. We need to find out where she is because she should be on the throne. Oh, Rose has a diary and it's full of riddles and not boys and girls and stuff. These riddles are nothing in comparison to the latest quests Jagex have been releasing, and Quest Alpha's obviously cheating, but we ain't unguided, so shut up. We have been taken to a camp in the northern tundra, and we're about to face our second boss/mini-boss, the first of the 2 assassins. Here is the assassin coming for Martin Holt. This should be very easy, as I can just get in melee range, protect melee. Easy fight, easy win, easy game. Let's finish off this riddle. Okay, this should be the last riddle now. Oh, they've taken Martin away. Looks like I'm on my own. Let's go and find Rose, I guess. Well, here she is, being held prisoner underground, or at least that's what it bloody looks like. And who's this creep? Oh, he's a counsellor. This is getting real shady now. Ew, this is gross. They've essentially poisoned Rose and kept her locked in a basement for 20 years. Like, what? We are now looking for the mysterious mage who helped to keep Rose in this state she's in, and this lizard man knows where to find him. Okay, in order to get the key from the mage's door from this guy, I need to get his last egg. and trade him. So let's get that done. Whoa, hey, calm down, fella. I'm sorry, I was asked to come here. Jeez. That's boss / mini boss 3 down. Only 3 more to go before the end of this quest. All right then, we have the key and we can now go and fight Xantha. Xantha. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as that. Xantha is the hardest boss in A Kingdom Divided and is our biggest challenge between where we are now and getting our respawn points swapped to Zeah. Xantha is a mage, and for the duration of the fight, we'll have Protect from Magic active, so that rules out using magic. Melee would normally be my go-to. However, he has a plus 180 stab, slash and crush defense, meaning the fight will take considerably longer than it should at my level. Luckily for us, he only has a plus 30 range defense, so it looks like we are swapping up our training method to beat this guy. But what does our new training method look like, I wonder? Well, I've split this plan down into 3 easily digestible parts. Getting a reasonable range gear setup, getting a reasonable range level, and getting a reasonable inventory of supplies for the fight. The fight will last quite a while, and there are lots of ways for me to mess it up, so making sure my plan is airtight will be crucial, or else I'm either dead, and we're back in Lumbridge, or without supplies for another round, and then we'll have to go and get a load more. Let's start with the ranged gear setup. The plan is to get myself a yew short bow. This can only be reasonably fletched on Zeah, so it's back to trees for me for a while. For the armor, I will go and get myself a full Shazian tier 5 setup, as it's far easier to get than the dragon hide because I am not killing dragons at this point. And I'm going to get myself a ring of recoil. This doesn't actually work on the boss Xantha, but it potentially works on the hands that he spawns, unconfirmed, and they need to go fast or they will drain my valuable prayer points. Next is the range level. My aim is 60, as this should give me enough damage per second to not ruin my chances at surviving. And finally, the supplies. I will need to get myself some more grubby keys, as I want a ranged pot and the best food I can get at this point, which will be sharks. This, coupled with the prayer potions I can now make myself, should give me the best shot at beating Xantha without grinding for months on end. Okay, I've started the range level grind outside the range shop in Shazian, and we've now got level 5 range. So we can swap our short bow that we bought from the range shop for an oak short bow. Level 20 ranged, it's time to get some use out of this willow short bow. Wowee, 30 ranged already. That was like 20 seconds, what the hell? Okay, the next bow is yew, and I can't buy this one, so I'll need to start woodcutting and fletching to grind this out. Let's get over to some trees, shall we? We are now at 10 fletching, so we can swap to longbows. I have a feeling this grind is going to take longer than I want it to, but we'll get through it. Alrighty, we are already up to 20 fletching. Time to move on to oak trees. Big jump for 35 fletching. This is taking some time now, but it's going to be worth it, as I really can't afford to fail at Xantha. Oh, level 50 means it's time for maples. And once we hit 65, we can make that yew short bow, and fletching is done with. Done, we are done. That's 65 fletching, and now it's time for the main event. Let's go make that yew short bow. Okay, first thing we need to do is come to this flax field here in Hesidius to get the flax we need for the bowstring. Now, thing we need to do is come to this yew tree here, chop chop, and there is the log, and there is the young strong bow, and here is the bowstring. Are we ready? Boom. Yew short bow made. This pushes our damage up by quite a bit, but it's not as stressful to obtain as the magic short bow would have been, so I think we can stop here. Next step after the weapon is to get the armor, so let's get ourselves over to the Shazian combat ring once again and get it. We will also once again have to go through all tiers, but it should be way easier this time. We're way higher level than we were before. Perfect. That took no time at all. We are almost fully ranged up now, so we should go and try and get that 60 range level. All right, big ranged level coming in. We are now 40 ranged, so we can actually use the yew short bow we made now. We are so close to being ready to fight. I am so bloody excited. Okay, I'm done. I can't go anymore. We need to fight this boss right now. We made it to a tidy 58 ranged. I think this will be enough, and I reckon we will get through the fight unscathed. So, one thing we should do now is get that ring of recoil. I managed to get a sapphire ring from a bird's nest while woodcutting, and while killing hill giants, I've managed to get some cosmic runes and water runes for the enchant. So, boom, a ring of recoil. We are now fully geared, fully leveled, We just need to get fully stocked up. Right, a little stop on the way to using this grubbery key I've been saving. We need arrows to fire from this U-short bow, and luckily we're allowed to use rune arrows with this bow. So I'm going to go and stock up as many of those as we can buy with the amount of GP we've got, and that number is actually not a lot. We have 130 rune arrows to get us through this fight. I really hope that's enough. We are here, and fingers crossed we get sharks and a ranged pot, as if not, we'll need to go and kill some more stuff to get grubby keys, and I'm really itching to fight this guy, so I don't really want to do that. Oh yes, sharks, a ranged pot, a super defense. That is literally the most perfect chest we could have got. I should get myself at least 3 prayer pots for this fight, and luckily I saved 7 Grimy Ranars for this exact occasion. Okay, 3 4-dose prayer pots have been made, and this invent still doesn't really look right. It still looks like I don't have enough food. We're going to have to make a very tough decision here, I think. I'm going to high alk all of my melee gear so I can have more food. I think it's just important. We need to do it. I'm just going to have to, live that ultimate Iron Man life. Oh, this is really painful. I don't like this at all. But at least, we can get it back fairly easy. Killing things like the black demons and the fire giants, it's all safe spots and mage training, so it shouldn't be too difficult. We can actually cook a swordfish with our current cooking level, so I'm going to go and fill all the rest of these empty slots with them. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. We have our full range set up, 58 range level, a full invent of food and potions. There is no time like the present. Let's go mash this boss's face in. If we beat this guy, we not only beat the hardest part of this quest, but you also achieve a personal milestone, and we are one step closer to being able to respawn on Zaya. This will seriously take so much stress off my shoulders. One more hit. Yes! Come on! Yes! Yes! Oh my god. I can't believe that was so close. That was so unbelievably close. I literally had, like, I don't know, 25 HP left. And I had no prayer. Oh, wow. Okay. That is massive. That is the hardest thing we've had to do so far, and it's the hardest thing that we're going to have to do for a while now before Chambers of Xeric. Wow, I can't believe we did that. Okay, well, that's so good. We are one step closer to finishing our first goal on the account. Next time, we are going to complete a Kingdom Divided, and once goal 1 is complete, we are going to start the next step in the master plan, attempting to solo the Chambers of Xeric without leaving Zaya. See you next time.